Guys, welcome to today's weekly commentary. So we'll be starting off from BTC. We'll look at BTC and verifying our zone, right? And what we expect on BTC. Okay. So from this very time frame, we understand that BTC is bullish on daily time frame. On 4 hour time frame, we are bearish. All right. We have broken 4 hour time frame structure around somewhere here for a bearish pullback. All right. So on this time frame, we are bullish. And since we are bullish right here on this daily time frame, the first thing we note is this. We note our major structure range for the week, all right? As outlook for the week. Then we also do the recap and COT report on some major pairs. So we have a break of structure to the upside. So we note this break of structure. After noting break of structure, we understand that, okay, market broke this structure and engulf it. Let's see on weekly time frame if it also have the same meaning. On weekly time frame, it didn't engulf it, right? On monthly, because we have already entered a new month. Also, it didn't engulf it on this time frame. So this means that if market give us what bearish confirmation for sell, we can expect market to sell down or to give us a deeper retracement, right? So with that in mind, we'll come back to that. And so having this on weekly time frame, we'll have two imbalance here. Okay, we'll have two imbalance. So the first thing was we note this structure range, all right? The short-term break of structure right here. So we know this range, we know the support level. All right. So this become our primary POI without refinement. Okay. This become our primary POI. When we move to daily, we look at the internal structure because we can't see any internal structure on that weekly time frame. So we come to daily, we look at internal structure that we have. The first thing we notice is that here we have a complete mitigation for those that are much they understand this, that this is complete mitigation right here. So with that, we'll have our POI just right here on this daily time frame. So these are long-term view, not short-term, right? For this week, if we are to analyze only this week, it will be around this area only, right? It will be around this area only. So we are just marking at this point of interest so you understand what I'm doing. So let me adjust this a little. So having that in mind first, all right, but on this time frame, we can see that this is clearly a proportion block. So that means market can come to this area before selling. So but before that, before I come back to this area, let's look at what we have here. Without wasting much time, here we have a short-term liquidity, all right? Double bottom liquidity, or we can mark it as what? Inducement, okay? Mark it as our inducement. We have a mitigation right here, so this can be our POI. We can expect what? A bullish program. Here we have supported low. There's nothing that's holding this particular low, so it's clearly on our supported low. If you have been following my YouTube videos, right, on the structure and all, you understand that this is supported low. So right here we'll have these short term lower low, lower high, all right, lower low. So for the sell program, we will note this as our last break of structure on this time frame as our last break of structure. So we note it as what? BUS, the downside. Okay, now since we have this BUS to the downside, the next is what? Upside, we'll have a structure right here, right? A structure right here. And at the same time, we'll have right here a long wick. So if it has imbalance on lower time frame, it can become a void a wick that market can use to give us what? A pullback. And at the same time, we're having what? A CRT reversal right here. But there's no liquidity. I don't just trade CRT just because there's CRT right here, right? I trade with influences, right? Another model, liquidity model and all. So there's clearly no liquidity right here. So buying at this level, kind of a risky trade for me, right? Except on lower time frame, market gave me a reason to buy. So currently on this lower time frame, here is our structure high. Here's our structure high, or let's say here. Market is here to break that high. Okay, market is here to break the high. So until market break the high, we are not expecting market to come back to this major structural range. Right? We're not expecting market to come back to that major structural range. So having that in mind, then we're having a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. After this break of structure, these are all range structure. These are all range structure right here. So having this range structure, we can expect if market gives us what reason to buy, we can expect a bullish expansion to this range before a bearish movement to the downside. So right here, that is what we have currently. So around here, you can actually identify all this as liquidity. So there are two things market will do. Either it will use this area. If this is a proportion block, you mark at your point of interest. I will mark at this point of interest. I will mark at one point of interest right here. That will be this. That will be this area. So let's refine it a little on 50 minutes time frame. Okay. So we'll have it as this. So this will be my primary POI. Around here, you can do that on yourself, on your own, as your secondary POI or your second point of what interest. So that would be our second point of interest. So this area can lead for a short-term bullish expansion to this level before the program. So since we have gotten the technical view of this, let's look at other pairs like good. But once we are done looking at good, we go to COT report, interpret COT report before come back to other pairs to use that COT report to align with the technical view. So we go to what good. And good from the last live session I did on YouTube. So we had that okay, I'm expecting that market will start buying from here or this area that were refined from the live session. So here we have a short-term POI, which can lead forward a short-term pullback, but we have a consolidation right here, all right, which I call accumulation phase right here. This is my accumulation phase, and we have the CRT reversal. This is why I have this point of interest right here. But market broke structure to the downside, which can lead forward a sell program, right? So for me to buy, I needed what a structure, right? So let's say, for example, lower low, lower high, lower low, a higher high. Market is set to form that. So that means this is what low probability setup. It's not what a high probability setup. So that means I'm not going to risk that much right here, or I'll wait for confirmation around this zone. So that's what I do right there. That aside, the main thing I'm expecting is what a buy program from this or any of this zone the upside. So this is my view for the week on good, right? So that means we possibly have what low of the week around any of the zone forward, a bullish function to the upside. I also drop this chart across my social platform as my view for the week so that you can also look into it and read the write-up I added to the chart. And that brings us now to what the current COT report we have. We're starting with EURUSD before get to what good and other COT report. So let's go to the COT report now. So right here on the COT report, we have Australian dollar. This Australian dollar, we understand as in the long run, that market now is shifting to the what sell side of in the long run. And that shows that what market has been selling, right? Market has been selling on USD, but currently we have a short-term bullish expansion to the upside on daily and on weekly time frame, not yet on monthly time frame, right? So that's what we're currently having. So since we're having overall in the long-term run, we are bearish, but on short-term, let's say weekly, daily time frame, right? Though I'm calling them short-term because we have monthly right there, as they're also long-term, all right? So because of the presence of monthly, that's why those two answer that name short term. But on a normal ground, if you're using 1 hour, 4 hours, daily and weekly become long term view, right? We'll come back to those in terms of technical view. So here on the COT report, we understand that what the short position of 2,600 something K position, the short position. On the long, only 500 something K position, only 500 something position, let's say, not K, right? So this means that sellers now added more position. It shows what sign of what bearish retracement. Now, in the average of this trend, or of this trend net position. So a moment. So coming back on this chart, so on average of this trade divide by, if you add this trade divide by let's say 3, okay, so you have it that on average it is still on the buy side, because the average of this will give you around 128k or minus 128k, right? So if one minus 128k, this is still above it, but in the terms of the long run right here, all right, all of them, you average it, it is still what, showing sign of bullish expansion. But the bullish expansion is not that yet solid, right? It's not yet solid because buyers are yet to add concrete position for long position on AUD dollar. So that means this shows that AUD is not super strong at the current moment. AUD is not super strong at the current moment. And we'll be going live a lot this coming week, at least twice a week. Be doing that on YouTube or on TikTok if TikTok give us room for that. So we look at another COT report now. Since we have this is not consistent at this level. This shows that what this pair is not super strong. At the same time, it's not super weak. So we can say it is what average at this current moment. So and the contract is 100k at the current moment. So you understand, almost all there has a contract of 100. So we look at Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar, as of last week, went from what, minus 82 to 103 to 103 also. And they closed position on both sides of the market. So what this is showing you at the same time is that since they are closing position on both sides and is at 103, 103, just like I said earlier on. So initially it was gaining strength, but currently now, I'm sorry, initially it was losing strength, but currently now it's showing the same thing as what average. It has what average strength on this pair. So the Canadian dollar now, they are what, closing some sell position, which you can see right here. At the same time, here also. So we expect them to be adding more position at this coming week. We expect them to be adding more buy position this coming week, which can strengthen Canadian dollar. So with that in mind, but based on this, there's no too much changes in the last 2 weeks right here. There's no too much changes in the last 2 weeks. So since there's no more much changes, this can at the same time shows that it is not super strong. So it is also average. So when you use it to compare pairs like USD card, and you understand that okay, USD is weak, all right, USD is weak. If USD is weak, you expect what, a bullish expansion, especially from the interest rate on USD. USD is currently weak in terms of their on their currency, and the reason why I believe US is doing that is to allow the economy to grow, all right, so that more business can come up in the country, all right. So that's why they are a little bit weakening the currency, and if care is not taken, the Fed might start cutting interest rate heavily, right? So if they cut interest rate, that can weaken the currency even the more, all right? So that you have it right there. But this against like AUD, right? This against AUD, Canadian dollar will be slightly stronger than what, AUD. If you are comparing to what AUD, like okay, AUD card, Canadian dollar will be slightly, all right. But this coming week, Canadian dollar can decide not to add more position, all right, on the long position. So that means they will be equal, or if AUD start adding buy position, they can overpower them. So this type of pairs, like AUD card, I will just stay on the sideline since there's no more power on one side of the market. On Swiss francs, we can see right here they close 1,000 position. The same thing. There's no more changes for almost 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no more changes on this pair. So that means it's clearly relying on USD. On USD. When USD gains strength, okay, it will push it up. If you lose strength, it will push it down. Right? It's that simple. So this shows that what a USD chef is solely reliant on USD at the current moment. So because chef is not strong at the same time, it's not super weak, but it's not strong, it's not average, it's leaning more on the other side of the market. That means on the weaker side of the market. So that's what we have here. On arrow, on the other hand, arrow you can see it here from 75, 75 around here, 84, 74, 79. So this shows that what EURUSD is gaining strength at the current moment. So there's not much you can say. You can see it right here. They close about 6,000 short position. So that means sellers close sell position. Though buyers did not add, if buyers added, this would have given us more boost and expecting EURUSD to take out those highs. But since they didn't add, you can expect some short-term bullish expansion, possibly to create maybe the high of the week or a bullish continuation to the upside. So those are the major things we see on EURUSD, and that to create the high of the week or possibly what to continue the bullish expansion. British pounds, the same thing. You can see it right there from 27 to 23 to 35. This shows what they added 14,000 position on the long run. So this shows that GBP is getting stronger. So it's leaning more on the stronger side of the market compared to like EUD. So that with that in mind, you will have it what you can use it to frame your setup for the week. Japanese yen right here, so 167, 164, right? It's reducing. Lose sell, the close buy position at the same time. They added only 600 position, so this doesn't make much difference. So this means this pair is not strong. That is it weak also. So we have New Zealand. So from 122, 123, 124. Sorry, minus 22, minus 23, minus 24. This shows that what this pair currently is losing strength, right? New Zealand is losing strength compared to other pairs. It's leaning more on the weaker side of the market, except fundamental analysis or news in New Zealand affect this pair positively to push it higher, right? Currently, it's losing strength. Then we have gold, which is the last we look at here. Gold, we understand that what you have 234K long position, right? Only 57 short position, and on the here we have 14,000 close short positions. So this shows that that buyers now are what will be ready to become into to come into the market. They are yet to come into the market because they closed all the short position was closed. Buyers are yet to enter, right? They are yet to enter the market. Sellers close their position, but that does not mean that it will start buying instantly. All right, but this shows that sellers now are having interest to likely add a buy position or to buy gold. So from the net position right here, you can see it right here from 161 to 163 to 174. So there's consistency in this in the last 3 weeks, so which shows strength that gold will likely buy to the upside. But I like it most when they use maybe 10,000 position and they add like 4,000 long position. That will give us more interest that gold will buy, right? That gold will buy. So at this current moment, we also need what a confirmation in terms of the technical view to be buying gold. Without those confirmation, you don't just wake up and start buying. So let's go back to the chart, call it for the day. So this shows that okay, my view is correct. That means I'm expecting what bullish expansion. Now, this does not mean that market cannot decide to start selling. Absolutely, it can continue selling. But at the same time, if market give us what a break of structure, we will look for what a bullish expansion. But if market did not break structure, we will what continue trading the sell program until we have a clear break of structure or a clear confirmation for a buy program. So that is my view for the week, and that is what I have on gold. So let's look at another pair on EURUSD from the last weekly commentary. I give an outlook, not weekly commentary, live session. which we discussed right here for the buy program. We also discussed this sell, the first live, on the second one, which was on Tuesday around here. Then the first one was just a testing session, which I didn't announce with anybody for those that saw it. Right. So here we have a sell program. After the sell program, we are having now a buy program. Our market has traded into this current structural range, right? This current structural range, right here. This current structural range can lead forward short-term bearish expansion. So where is my next point of interest? My next point of interest is right here. If market sell down to this area, I can look for a buy program around here if it gives me a confirmation. So this is my secondary POI. My primary POI is around here, right? So which I will discuss later on. So we have here imbalance, not today, right? I'm not discussing this POI. We have here as an imbalance. If market give a confirmation, one can look for a short-term sell program. So that is what we have on USD. So we have major point of interest, which I marked earlier on right here for a buy program. So the reason why I'm expecting more buy pressure is because EURU is gaining strength. So if EURU is gaining strength, that can push for price to make a higher high to the upside. And here we're yet to take out this high. Why on GBPUSD, market has already taken out that high, which is this high. Okay, EURUSD. So we have two POI I marked earlier on. So one of the POI is this. This POI, all right, it's kind of like if I'm to refine it, because that day we didn't refine that this POI that very much. If I have to refine it, I'll have it right here as my major POI right here. But this is clearly the reason why I picked this one is because of this imbalance above it, right? This imbalance above it. But on a normal ground, this will be our most important POI on USD. So on USD on 1 hour time frame, we saw a consolidation right here, lower low, a lower high, lower low, a lower high. Then I'm expecting a lower low to get to this zone. Possible give me what a buy program to the upside for me to start buying to the upside, right? So this is my view currently on EURUSD and on GBPUSD. Then we have what US 300. On US 300, we have give it to my private committee, right, for this buy program, but market did not give us this entry, which was this leg right here. We're expecting market to give me this buy program. My first target was around somewhere here, second here, right? So, but it didn't do that, right? So here we also have another early consolidation, which market gave entry, but it was very, very fast for the movement. So looking at it from daily perspective, the first thing I understand is this: market reject this resistance level right here, right? It reject this resistance level right here. But at the same time, also this candle close bullish. So that means it will also reject this candle low, right? This candle also close bullish. This also close. So this shows strength that there will be a possibly what a buy continuation the upside. Since it rejected for the short-term trend, but at the same time reject the support level for a bullish expansion. So which can support the idea for a buy continuation the upside. So what can you do at that point? You have a PY right here, right? And this. So if market continue the bullish structure, I cannot expect market to continue and from here or mostly from this POI for a bullish expansion to the upside. So this is my current view on US 30. Then we have EUD USD. So this is one of the trade which is of interesting to watch. So we have here some clear mitigation where market is currently giving right here. So since we're having this current mitigation right here, this can lead for a bullish program from here to the outside. But AUD is not too strong to push price higher based on the COT report we saw. All right, AUD is not super strong to push price higher. So what can happen in price is that we can have what short-term read of price to this level, right? Now, why do I expect market to read this level or this low? So let me delete this first. First thing is what this low is an inducement low, right? That is an inducement low. So this can make more sense that market can come here, before a buy program. At least to touch this trend line, give us a buy continuation the upside. All right, a possible continuation the upside. So this is what I expect on this particular pair. So this is what I expect on this particular pair. So the next thing I expect of price. Okay. So the next thing I expect of price here, if market decide to break below this low, I will expect it to go deeper into this level since AUD is not super strong, right? So that is what I have on this pair. On New Zealand, still the same thing. New Zealand is not super strong. I have marked out my zone, my major zone, my point of interest right here within my community. So I have this point of interest right here. I can have a short-term pullback before a bullish continuation to the upside. So we'll have a liquidity right here, which market can take out before trading into this level. So don't mind all these lines I mark out, right? So and delete some of them to avoid noise. Right? So the idea you have it. Even around here, there is still much noise. Okay, so you have it right there. So it makes more sense now of what I'm expecting on this particular pair. So those are the two major things right there. But here we have clear liquidity, which market can take out, right? Kind of like a double bottom, which market can take out before. So when you have a double bottom like this, and there's structural mitigation right here, you can expect this. So if I'm to pick my point of interest, I will just have this as my major point of interest right here. This as my point of interest. This is refined right here. I pick this point of interest right here without refinement. All right. If you want to refine it, to get something like this, you can go to lower time frame and do that. But I'm not doing that right here in live. Okay, so we have here we have USD card, which is a clear sell program. We have here a market sell from this breaker right here to the downside. So currently bearish, right? Currently bearish. So it can decide to make a lower low. Why? Because card is gaining strength. On the other hand, why USD is not super strong, just like I said. We have another one which is USD chef. Now on this USD chef, this pair, just like I said, a COT report, chef is not super strong. So USD is the one that is absolutely weak at this period, which is why it dropped heavily. Okay, so dropped heavily. So at this point, market is yet at this low. So I will still stick around with this structure range that we have here. Short-term break of structure upside, right? Here as the consolidation which led for this sell because I expect market to take at this low. Okay. So if market take at that low, the next point of interest I expect of price is possibly if there's what proportion block around here on lower time frame, you can have it as what your POI. But if there's no proportion block, then it will be SC candle. So I'm not refining this zone right here. Okay, so if I want to refine it, I'll just pick the support level right here, which is this. All right. So we'll have this right here. So this is what we'll have for the week. The same thing on USD JPY. So this pair, I don't have current solid view on it currently. So I'll just sit on the sideline on this pair for the week. Except it offers what I understand, then I will look forward to trade on it. So that's all for today's weekly commentary. Good luck and good trading. I wish you the success. I wish you success in this month and this trading week.